So alongside the mighty but also admittedly rather pricey Xperia 1 Mark II flagship phone, Sony Mobile has also just released a more affordable alternative that hopefully won't have you scrambling down the back of the sofa for loose change. This bad boy right here is the Xperia 10 Mark II, a proper upgrade over last year's mid-range mobile. And in fact, the Xperia 10 Mark II actually boasts a surprising number of those super premium features ported down from the Xperia 1 Mark II flagship smartphone, but for that much cheaper asking price, just 320 quid here in the UK to be precise. So that's enough waffle, let's get this thing yanked out of the box, take a full-on tour of all that hardware and the software, the camera tech, everything else you need to know ahead of my in-depth review. And for more than the latest greatest tech, please do PubG subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So let's see what we get in the box. We get the phone itself, which I'll just stick aside for now. You get your quick start guide, shenanigans, all that good stuff. Bit of 3-pin UK adapter action, of course, with pop-out knobbly bit. You've got your highly exciting Type-C USB cable, and you've got your pair of branded earphones as well, although they're the hard shell type, no silicone tips or anything, so yeah, they'll probably be proper ear scrapers, but they are actually 3.5mm, which is great because we do actually have a headphone jack here on the Xperia 10 Mark II, just like the flagship. Right, so that's the box done with. Now let's have a good old squint at the actual Xperia 10 Mark II itself. And like the original Xperia 10 from 2019, it is once again a 6-inch beast. And of course you get Sony's brilliant 21:9 design as well, so it is a proper sausage phone. And because it's just 6 inches instead of the 6.5-inch flagship phone, it's even more comfortable to clutch, helped along by the lovely rounded corners and edges that you've got here as well. And the Xperia 10 Mark II is crazy light as well. It weighs just 151 grams, making it actually one of the lightest smartphones I think I've wielded in 2020. And as well as that slick 21:9 finish, some of the other best bits of the design of the Xperia 1 Mark II flagship have also filtered down to the 10 series, including a Gorilla Glass 6 plate in both front and back to hopefully make it super durable. And also you got full IP68 water and dust resistance on this bad boy as well. And that is certainly a feature that you'll really struggle to find at this sort of price point, like outside of the iPhone SE 2020, and maybe if you can find an Android flagship from about 2 or 3 years ago that's now been reduced to around £300, you'll really struggle. So basically, if you're a bit of a cack-handed klutz and you don't have much cash in the bank, it looks like the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II might well be your next phone. As for the colours, well, the Xperia 10 Mark II is available in either black or white, such an exciting range that I feel my trousers may explode with joy. Though that said, good luck finding this thing in white here in the UK, because Sony's official website and all of the networks that I checked, O2, Vodafone, etc., only seem to stock it in black. Thankfully, it's a very smart black, just like the Xperia 1 Mark II, definitely very fetching indeed, and so far Touchwood seems to do a reasonable job of hiding the scuffy, greasy prints, although when it catches the light just so, it does look a bit of a state. Pretty standard stuff for a glass smartphone, of course. Right, so we've got some juice in the tank, so let's get the Xperia 10 Mark II all set up, and then we'll take a tour of the rest of the specs. Now, when you slip your SIM inside the Xperia 10 Mark II, you'll notice that there's just space for a single SIM card in there. There's no dual SIM support, unfortunately, but you do have a slot for a micro SD memory card up to 1TB in size to boost the 128 gigs of onboard storage. Alrighty, the Xperia 10 Mark II is all set up and ready for action. Apologies if you see sweat dripping off my face onto the screen. It's about 40 degrees in the studio today. I really need to get some aircon or something. Now, first up, when you want to actually unlock the Xperia 10 Mark II, it's once again an edge-mounted fingerprint sensor here on the side, just like with the flagship. And once again, it is actually built into that power button. Not that you actually have to press it in order to work the sensor, just tap your digit and you're in. So yeah, so far that seems to work absolutely fine. Unfortunately, like the Xperia 1 Mark II, there's absolutely no face unlock here on the 10 Mark II. It's fingerprint or basically usual pin, etc. Not even the smart lock has that face unlock feature because, let's face it, the Android face unlock was a bit cack. And of course, it's full fat Android 10 here with dock mode, go, all of those features that you know and love, including thankfully full on gesture navigation as well, so you can ditch that silly nav bar and just go on with the usual Android 10 swipe controls. And of course, you've got a huge selection of different theming, bit of wallpaper action to choose from, including some nature-inspired stuff by the looks of it. But of course, as usual, I'm going to stick with my geeky anime efforts. And it's really pleasing to see that pretty much all of the software features found on the Xperia 1 Mark II flagship have translated over to the Xperia 10 Mark II as well, including Sony classics like that side sense, which I wasn't really a fan of originally, but it has evolved. It's more useful than ever before. You got the likes of the one-handed mode, of course. You can actually assign gestures to sliding your thumb up and down that side sense bar as well, including going into that one-handed mode, so you don't even have to open up the menu. And thank God, yes, you can pull down that notifications bar from anywhere on screen, so it's actually fairly easy to use one-handed despite the incredible length. And I've gone into quite some detail about all those software features that I know and love from the Xperia 1 Mark II in my full in-depth tips and tricks guide, which went out just a couple of days ago, so check that out for a closer look at the software here on the 10 Mark II. And I've got to say, so far I'm definitely a fan of the Xperia 10 Mark II's gorgeous screen as well. It's not a 4K res panel like you get on the flagship, obviously at this sort of price point, but it is a 6-inch OLED display, full HD resolution, everything's looking nice and crisp so far. And as you can see, the bezels are sort of fairly skinny, even though they're a bit bulkier than they were on that flagship. In fact, if you're interested, there's the Xperia 10 Mark II and the 1 Mark II side by side. So as you can see, slightly skinnier bezels on the one, but really they're not much fatter at all on the mid-ranger. So as you kind of hope, because this is an OLED panel, you get those gorgeous punchy colors really shining through, absolutely exploding off the display. Gorgeous eye candy stuff. Contrast levels are nice and sharp as well. You get those nice deep blacks, those nice bright crisp whites. And video certainly looks great thanks to that full HD plus resolution. Of course, no notch intruding on the display either. You've got a gorgeous full view finish to begin with. Excellent stuff. Of course, whereas the flagship offers pretty in-depth display customization, it's a bit more scaled back as you'd expect to an Xperia 10 Mark II. So as you can see, you're in standard mode here. You can also switch back to original mode, just changes the sort of the color poppiness, the saturation levels, the temperature. You've also got some manual control over the white balance, but again, it's a bit more limited. You can't exactly get those really natural looking paper tones or anything like that. As far as those speakers go as well, it's actually only a mono speaker setup here on the Xperia 10 Mark II rather than a full-on stereo speaker setup. But the good news is it's not actually a bottom firing blaster like it quite often is on these mid-range mobiles. It's actually built into this very edge here. So even if you're sort of clutching the phone at the sides, that audio is still coming at you full force and you're not going to accidentally muffle it. So let's just check it out.
That Google Discover. Just as I love that funky 21:9 design on the Xperia 1 Mark II, I've got to say one-handed use in the easiest.
So it's not the most impressive on that top volume level, but the good news is if you actually dive into the sound settings, you've got pretty much the full range of audio chops here on the Xperia 10 Mark II as you did on the flagship. So you once again got support for high-res audio on here. You've got Sony's own digital sound enhancement engine, which basically makes those crappy sounds in MP3s, just sort of brings them to life a bit, makes them sound a bit more full-bodied. Of course, you've got that 3.5mm headphone jack if you want to get a wide connection on the go. Otherwise, if you want to use a bit of Bluetooth, good news is you've got Sony's LDAC support on there, you've got aptX HD and everything as well, so it should be a really strong wire-free listening experience too. Now for the performance packed into the Xperia 10 Mark II, you get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 chipset backed by 4GB of RAM, so it's basically the same setup as the Moto G8 Plus, the Redmi Note 8 series, quite a few of those sort of mid-range to budgety mobiles. For any benchmark enthusiasts who can't wait for the full review, that's the benchmark Geekbench 5 scores, single core and multi-core. Again, very similar output to the likes of the Moto G8 Plus. In fact, I think the multi-core score is a little bit better there. But I will be using the Xperia 10 Mark II as my full-time personal handset ahead of my in-depth review, so I'll let you know how the everyday performance is and what it is like for gaming. Good news if you've got a PlayStation as well, because you've got full support for that PlayStation 4 Remote Play, so you can access your PlayStation over your Wi-Fi network and get gaming on the bog, in bed, wherever you roam about your household. Unfortunately, you don't seem to have the Game Enhancer app here on the Xperia 10 Mark II, which was a really good addition on the Xperia 1 Mark II. Added a whole bunch of great features like notifications blocking, you could record your gaming session, all that sort of shenanigans. I'm guessing maybe it just can't handle it because of the performance limitations here. Now let's chat about the battery, and it's a 3600 milliamp cell here in the Xperia 10 Mark II, so hopefully it should keep you going all day, especially with that fairly energy efficient Snapdragon 665 chipset on board as well. You've got the usual battery care, you've got adaptive charging, so hopefully again over the long term you won't get any battery damage, but of course I'll be bringing you a full verdict on the battery life with my in-depth Xperia 10 Mark II review. All of which fun and games brings us on nicely to the camera tech. And what you get here is actually a very similar triple lens setup to the Xperia 1 Mark II, just minus that time of flight lens. So what you've got is a 12 megapixel primary lens once again, but then when it comes to the ultra wide angle and the telephoto lenses, they've been pared back from 12 megapixels to 8 megapixels. Okay, everyone say hello to Rainbow Lucky Unicorn, our glamorous model for today's photo shoot, and upon launching up the camera app, you can see it's actually very similar to the flagship camera app that you get as well. The main difference seems to be that instead of having 3 separate icons for toggling between the 3 different lenses, it's a tap to cycle affair instead, which I don't quite like so much. I definitely prefer the 3 separate icons. That said, you can simply hold it and slide your finger up and down if you want to sort of skip between them all that way. So here's hoping that Sony's auto mode can capture some great looking photos here on the Xperia 10 Mark II. Your manual controls are unfortunately very limited. You can play around with the color temperature and the brightness levels, and that is basically it. You don't get the photo pro mode like you get on the flagship, sadly. But you do get a bit of bokeh mode action once again. So again, you can get that nice blurry background effect on the go, really highlight your subject. And you've got a limited selection of bonus modes as well, just like on the Xperia 1 Mark II. You will notice, however, the addition of a night mode. That wasn't actually available on the Xperia 1 Mark II. It just sort of entered night mode automatically, as it were, whereas here you have to manually select it. And then when you hit that shutter button, as you can see there, it'll capture lots of different exposure shots and then sort of meld them together for hopefully an attractive looking result. So as you can see there, obviously these aren't testing light conditions, but it has helped to brighten up the background a little bit. I will of course again be fully testing this out actually at night. And if you want to get your zoom on, well, it's actually a 52mm telephoto lens here on the Xperia 10 Mark II. Unsurprisingly, can't quite match the excellent 70mm focal length on the Xperia 1 Mark II, but hopefully should still capture some good looking crisp shots even from a distance. And if you zoom right in using a bit of digital smarts as well, hopefully again it'll provide some nice crisp results just like the flagship. As for your video, you can swap to that just with a quick tap there, and you can shoot up to 4K resolution footage. As you can see, full HD by default, but yeah, you can do 4K in either 16:9 ratio or 21:9, that gorgeous cinematic finish. And if we do the old switcheroo to that front facing selfie camera as well, I believe it's once again an 8MP effort, just like the Xperia 1 Mark II. The specs are buried away in your noggin correctly. And I wasn't massively impressed with the flagship selfie cam, to be honest, so I'm not exactly expecting wonders out of this one. It was quite soft, quite easy to get overexposed results, but again, I'll test it out. You never know, might get better results on this randomly. And sweet baby Jesus, how have I got this knack of just capturing such gorgeous looking selfies during all my unboxing videos? I mean, that is another classic right there. Ugh. And there you have it. That in a nutshell is the fresh new Xperia 10 Mark II mid-range mobile from Sony. And I've got to say, for 320 quid, this thing already seems to offer incredible value for money. If you're sold on that whole 21:9 gorgeous Sony design, the general Sony ecosystem, bit of that remote play functionality, all of that kind of shenanigans, and of course you've got those great features like the waterproofing as well, the gorgeous OLED display, certainly seems to be pretty feature packed. So it'd be great to hear what you think down in the comments below. As I say, stay tuned for my in-depth review of this bad boy after I've used it as my personal handset for a good few days, really got a feel for it. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers!